Imagine this. The sun is slowly dipping below the horizon, painting the endless stretch of Route 66 in shades of gold and amber. You're behind the wheel of a classic 1970s Chevrolet, the engine's gentle rumble blending with the soft hum of the tires on the open road. Neon signs flicker along the roadside, announcing diners with milkshakes and burgers, cozy motels with rooms waiting for weary travelers, and gas stations buzzing with life. Somewhere in the distance, the faint twang of a guitar mixes with a rock and roll melody, floating through the evening air. Families laugh in their cars, kids peek out the windows, and the smell of sun-warmed asphalt fills your senses. Each mile carries stories of first road trips, ice cream cones melting under the summer sun, and roadside attractions that promised adventure at every turn. This was the heartbeat of 1970s America, a time when summer meant freedom, exploration and discovery. Today, we're not just taking a drive. We're stepping back in time, experiencing the hidden gems of small towns, the charm of roadside diners, the bright lights of neon, and the joy of simple pleasures that made vacations unforgettable. Get ready to relive the laughter, the music, the scent of gasoline mixed with cotton candy, the warmth of the sun and the thrill of the open road. This isn't just a story of a route, it's a journey into nostalgia, into the soul of summer in 1970s America, where every mile tells a story and every stop sparks a memory waiting to be rediscovered. Route 66, more than just a highway, it was the thread that stitched together the American heart in the 1970s, stretching over 2,400 miles from Chicago to Los Angeles. It wasn't merely a road, it was an adventure, a collection of stories waiting to be discovered at every mile. Each town had its own character, its own charm, its own secrets that whispered through neon lights, diner counters and roadside motels. Imagine pulling into a small town in Missouri, the sun high in the sky, and being greeted by a family-run diner with red vinyl booths and checkered floors. The smell of sizzling bacon and freshly brewed coffee fills the air, and the waitress, with her welcoming smile, slides a plate of pancakes across the counter. Outside, kids run around the sidewalks, chasing each other with ice cream cones in hand, their laughter mixing with the distant hum of classic cars. As you continue west, the scenery changes. Rolling plains give way to vast deserts in Arizona. Here, the motels are adorned with hand-painted murals of cowboys and cacti, and the neon signs promise a good night's rest and a cold root beer. Travelers stop at quirky roadside attractions, giant statues of dinosaurs, vintage gas pumps, and souvenir shops overflowing with postcards and trinkets. These were the landmarks of memory, each one telling a tale of curiosity and simple joy. Every diner, every motel, every gas station along Route 66 carried its own story. There were the teenagers on their first road trip, the families escaping the city heat for a summer adventure, the lovers stealing quiet moments in the back seats of their Chevys, and the musicians playing in roadside bars that later became legends. Each experience, though fleeting, left an imprint, a memory waiting to be relived decades later. And it wasn't just Route 66. Other American vacation routes held their own magic. The Pacific Coast Highway offered breathtaking ocean views, where the scent of salt water mixed with the aroma of fresh roadside clam chowder. The Blue Ridge Parkway wound through mountains, its twists and turns revealing hidden waterfalls, picnic spots and trails where kids could run freely while parents relaxed under the shade of old trees. The summer road trip wasn't simply about the key destination. It was the journey itself, the people met along the way, the unexpected detours, and the shared stories at each stop. By the end of each day, as the sun set behind the horizon, families would pull into motels with glowing neon signs, their cars packed with souvenirs, photographs, and sand from beaches or dust from deserts. Laughter echoed through motel corridors, radio music played softly from old transistor radios, and the smell of a dinner left on a tray lingered in the rooms. These moments, so ordinary yet so magical, defined the essence of 1970s summer vacations. Traveling along these roads, you weren't just seeing America, you were feeling it, living it, breathing it. The endless miles of asphalt weren't just lines on a map. They were threads connecting people, memories, and dreams. And now, decades later, we can still close our eyes and imagine the engine hum, the neon glow, the laughter of children, and the quiet golden sunsets that made every mile a story, every stop a memory, and every road an invitation to nostalgia. While Route 66 captured the hearts of many travelers, the 1970s offered an endless tapestry of other unforgettable journeys across America, each route with its own unique personality and memories waiting to be made. The Pacific Coast Highway, for instance, was more than just a road. It was a sensory experience, stretching along California's dramatic coastline, where cliffs plunged into roaring waves. The air was thick with the salty scent of the Pacific. Families piled into station wagons or classic VW buses, winding along the curves, with the radio playing Beach Boys or Fleetwood Mac. They'd stop at hidden coves to watch the sunset, dip their toes into icy water, or share a picnic on a rugged cliffside while seagulls circled overhead. Surfers raced across golden beaches, their laughter mixing with the roar of the ocean, and locals sold fresh fruit, handmade trinkets, and coconut drinks from roadside stands. The mountains offered a different kind of escape. On the Blue Ridge Parkway, the air was cool and fragrant with pine and wildflowers. Each turn revealed cascading waterfalls, crystal clear pools, and secluded picnic spots. Children chased fireflies in the twilight while parents relaxed, soaking in panoramic views that stretched for miles. The small towns along the way had diners with fried chicken, apple pies, and coffee served in chipped mugs. Porch musicians played folk tunes or soft jazz, blending perfectly with the rustle of leaves and the distant call of birds. Every stop offered a new story. A grandmother baking cookies for travelers, a mechanic who had been fixing cars for decades, or a local artist painting the scenery on a quiet hillside. In the Midwest, the Great Lakes region was a summer paradise. Families traveled by car or RV to sandy beaches along Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior, where the water glimmered like glass under the afternoon sun. Ice cream trucks jingled familiar tunes, children built elaborate sandcastles, and parents grilled hot dogs, corn on the cob and fresh fish, their aromas mixing with the lake breeze. Ferries carried excited tourists to islands with tiny lighthouses, hidden coves, and fishing spots where stories of giant catches were told and retold. Every small town had its own charm. Arcades, miniature golf courses, boardwalk games, and cotton candy stands, creating a patchwork of memories for families that would last a lifetime. New England offered a completely different rhythm. Its coastal towns welcomed travelers with red and white striped lighthouses, lobster shacks with the smell of fresh seafood, and boardwalks lined with carousel rides, small gift shops and candy stores. Sailboats bobbed in the harbors, and fishermen hauled in their daily catch while tourists watched. Cameras in hand, the sound of seagulls, the salt air, and the gentle waves hitting the docks created an unmistakable sense of place. A summer feeling that became a memory to hold forever. Even the deserts of Arizona and New Mexico held their own magic. Travelers could stop at secret hot springs, vintage motels, or roadside attractions that seemed plucked from a whimsical dream. Neon lights flickered as evening descended. Motels glowed invitingly, and families paused to capture Polaroid snapshots. Roadside diners served juicy burgers, fries, and milkshakes, while locals shared stories about the town's history, unusual landmarks, or the odd traveler who passed through once and left a mark on everyone's memory. Every detail mattered. The gas stations where maps were exchanged, drive-in theaters where Saturday night films played, the smell of popcorn, car exhaust, and warm asphalt in the evening air. Festivals, county fairs, parades, and small-town celebrations offered glimpses into American culture, from carnival rides to pie-eating contests, from marching bands to quirky local traditions. Each route, each stop, each minor detour offered stories that blended adventure, music, laughter, and nostalgia. These journeys were about more than scenery. They were about the experiences that lingered, the spontaneous conversations with strangers, the unexpected detours to hidden landmarks, the thrill of winding mountain passes, and the quiet moments watching the sunset over a serene lake. Every mile became a story, every stop a memory, and every route an invitation to relive a time when summer meant freedom, exploration, and connection. The 1970s American road trip wasn't just a journey. It was a collection of moments that created a lifetime of nostalgia, a feeling that decades later, we can still close our eyes and relive as vividly as if it were yesterday. As we traverse America's legendary highways, the stories along the way grow richer and more unforgettable. On Route 66, the small diner in Seligman, Arizona, stood as a beacon of comfort. Every morning, a grandmother baked fresh apple pies, the sweet aroma drifting out onto the quiet street, inviting travelers to pause. Locals gathered to share tales of the past, while children played hopscotch on the sidewalk outside, their laughter mingling with the hum of vintage Cadillacs passing by. A few miles west, another diner featured a jukebox filled with classic 50s and 60s hits. Travelers would slip coins in, selecting tunes that resonated with memories of their first summer road trips. Meanwhile, waitresses in checkered dresses served milkshakes and cheeseburgers, engaging in cheerful conversation with families who stopped to stretch their legs, creating a warm, communal atmosphere unique to this stretch of the Mother Road. Along the Pacific Coast Highway, hidden coves and secret beaches became sanctuaries for families seeking solitude and adventure. Parents laid out picnic blankets while children explored tide pools, discovering starfish and hermit crabs. Surfers laughed as they wiped out on rolling waves, boards bouncing back onto the golden sand. Vendors sold fresh fruit, handmade trinkets and coconut drinks, adding to the rich tapestry of sights and sounds along the scenic coastline. The Blue Ridge Parkway offered a completely different rhythm. Elderly couples ran small roadside cabins, offering homemade lemonade and storytelling sessions about hidden waterfalls, mischievous raccoons, and long-forgotten mining towns. Children sat on wooden benches, wide-eyed and enthralled, while parents relaxed, soaking in the panoramic views of endless mountains. Local bands occasionally performed on porches, filling the air with folk and jazz melodies that blended seamlessly with the rustling leaves. In the Midwest, the Great Lakes became playgrounds for summer fun. Families traveled by car or RV to sandy beaches along Lake Michigan, Lake Erie, and Lake Superior. Ice cream trucks jingled familiar tunes as children built elaborate sandcastles, while parents grilled hot dogs, corn on the cob, and fresh fish. Ferries carried excited tourists to small islands, dotted with lighthouses and hidden coves, where the day's adventures were recounted with laughter and awe. New England's coastal towns offered a charm all their own. Red and white, striped lighthouses stood sentinel over harbors, where sailboats bobbed gently, and lobster shacks served the freshest catches. Boardwalks were alive with carousel music, candy stores, and families enjoying the saltwater breeze. Locals delighted children with quirky tales, handing out tiny souvenirs that would become cherished, keepsakes of summer memories. Even the deserts of Arizona and New Mexico held secrets waiting to be discovered. Neon cacti glowed like beacons guiding weary travelers to roadside motels. Diners offered extra creamy milkshakes and burgers so juicy that locals swore by them. Unexpected friendships blossomed along these roads, a traveling musician sharing his guitar with teenagers, a family discovering a hidden canyon, and each encounter left an imprint on the hearts of those who passed through. These are the moments that defined the 1970s. American road trip. Not the roads alone, but the people, the small acts of kindness, the spontaneous detours, and the sights, smells, and sounds that made every mile a story. From neon signs flickering at midnight to children chasing ice cream trucks, from fishermen hauling in the day's catch to families sharing fried chicken on picnic blankets. Every experience stitched together a tapestry of nostalgia. Decades later, we can still close our eyes and feel the engine hum, the warmth of the sun, the laughter, and the wonder of a time when the open road promised endless possibilities. Continuing our journey, we find ourselves winding through the rolling hills and sleepy towns of the Midwest, where small motels and roadside diners created a patchwork of comfort and charm for weary travelers. In Missouri, a tiny ice cream shop became legendary for its hand-scooped sundaes and playful atmosphere. Children pressed their noses against the glass display, pointing at flavors with sparkling eyes, while parents shared stories of their own youthful adventures along the same roads. Local musicians often performed on street corners, their tunes drifting across town, squares and mingling with the aroma of fresh pies and sizzling bacons. Further east, the Appalachian Mountains unfolded in a cascade of green, dotted with hiking trails, waterfalls and quaint villages. Families would stop at small cabins to rest, listening to elders recount tales of mountain lore and hidden springs where deer and foxes roamed freely. Children chased butterflies across wildflower meadows, and local craftsmen displayed hand-carved wooden toys and painted pottery for travelers to take home. Every bend in the road offered a new view, a new story, a fleeting moment to be captured in memory. Along the Atlantic coast, the charm of historic towns like Williamsburg, Virginia, and Cape Cod, Massachusetts, drew families seeking a blend of history and leisure. Horse-drawn carriages clattered along cobblestone streets, and children giggled as they tried old-fashioned candies from corner shops. Lobster shacks served steaming meals by the harbor, while the salty breeze carried the sound of seagulls, boat horns, and distant carousel music. Families lingered on boardwalks, savoring the blend of sights, sounds, and tastes that defined the summer along America's eastern shores. Heading south, the Deep South revealed its own treasures. In Savannah, Georgia, moss-draped oaks lined the streets, providing shade for families strolling through historic squares. Ice cream parlors and soda fountains buzzed with life as children played tag on the sidewalks, while parents relaxed on benches, enjoying the rhythm of the old city. Further along, the Gulf Coast offered sun-soaked beaches and seafood, shacks where local fishermen shared their daily catch, telling stories of hurricanes, shrimping adventures, and hidden sandbars along the shore. Each stop added layers of richness and warmth to the road trip tapestry. In the deserts of the Southwest, long stretches of road seemed endless, but the small towns' neon signs and quirky motels brought life and color to the arid landscape. In Albuquerque, a roadside cafe became famous for its green chili burgers, drawing both locals and tourists. Families would pause to enjoy milkshakes, exchange smiles with the friendly staff, and listen to the stories of travelers who had crossed the country, creating connections that lasted a lifetime. The sunsets painted the sky in brilliant oranges and purples, casting long shadows and illuminating memories with the warm glow of nostalgia. California beckoned with its sun-kissed beaches and bustling piers. Santa Monica Pier was alive with laughter, the smell of popcorn, and the jingling of arcade machines. Families rode Ferris wheels, sampling cotton candy and watching the waves crash against the shore. Just a short drive inland, Yosemite National Park offered breathtaking vistas of granite cliffs and cascading waterfalls. Hikers of all ages marveled at the scenery, capturing photographs and exchanging stories around campfires that would be retold for decades. Traveling north again, the Pacific Northwest welcomed visitors with misty forests, cascading rivers, and rugged coastlines. Portland's quirky roadside diners offered specialty pies and locally roasted coffee, while families explored nearby forests, spotting deer, eagles, and the occasional black bear. Beachcombers along the Oregon coast collected seashells and driftwood, building castles and sculptures, their laughter echoing with the rhythm of the waves. The combination of adventure, nature, and small-town charm left travelers with a deep sense of connection to the land and its people. Every mile of these journeys contributed to the unforgettable mosaic of 1970s America, from neon signs flickering in the desert to horse-drawn carriages in historic towns, from sun-drenched beaches to shaded mountain trails. Each stop was more than a location. It was an experience, a story, a memory etched into the hearts of travelers. The roads themselves became a tapestry of laughter, discovery, and the timeless joy of exploration. A reminder that adventure was never just about the destination, but the journey and the moments we carry with us forever. As our journey stretches into the heart of America, we encounter the magic of small towns that seem frozen in time. In Amarillo, Texas, the Cadillac Ranch stands as a quirky landmark. Its half-buried, graffiti-covered cars inviting travelers to leave their mark. Families stopped along the roadside, spray cans in hand, laughing as they added their own colors to the vibrant tableau. Nearby diners served towering plates of comfort food: chicken fried steak, mashed potatoes, and fresh-baked pies, while local musicians played country tunes, their melodies drifting across the vast plains. Further west, the deserts of New Mexico revealed hidden gems. Santa Fe's adobe architecture and art galleries offered a glimpse into a culture steeped in history. Families wandered cobblestone streets, sampling spicy green chili dishes and handcrafted sweets. In nearby Taos, children watched as potters shaped clay on spinning wheels, their hands smudged with earthy tones. The mountains beyond provided hiking adventures, secret waterfalls and vistas that seemed to stretch forever, creating memories framed by the golden glow of the setting sun. Crossing into the Pacific Northwest, the journey took on a misty, mystical quality. Oregon's coastline offered rugged cliffs and secret coves, where families explored tide pools and collected driftwood to build miniature castles. Portland's quirky diners, with their specialty pies and handcrafted coffee, became gathering points for travelers. Forest trails nearby revealed deer, eagles, and the occasional black bear, sparking excitement in children and adults alike. Every turn in the road brought a new adventure, a new story, and a new memory etched into the summer of 1970s America. California's beaches, from Malibu to Santa Cruz, buzzed with activity. Surfboards glided across sparkling waves, while lifeguards whistled to keep swimmers safe. Pier amusements, popcorn stands, and Ferris wheels created a carnival atmosphere that delighted families. Inland, the majestic Yosemite National Park offered awe-inspiring granite cliffs, waterfalls, and serene meadows. Families hiked together, shared picnics by riverbanks, and gathered around campfires as the night sky blanketed them in stars. These experiences forged bonds and created stories that would be retold for decades. Heading north along the coast, Washington and Alaska introduced a different kind of beauty. Misty forests, glacial rivers, and snow-capped mountains became playgrounds for adventure seekers. Families kayaked on crystal-clear lakes, fished for salmon, and collected driftwood and seashells along quiet beaches. Local cafes offered hearty meals and warm coffee, where travelers shared stories of the open road and the places they discovered. Each experience, from quiet towns to bustling piers, was a thread in the fabric of the American summer road trip, weaving a tapestry rich with nostalgia, adventure, and joy. As the sun set over these landscapes, neon signs flickered to life in small towns across the country. Ice cream parlors, soda fountains, and diners glowed, inviting families to pause and savor the last moments of the day. Children chased fireflies in grassy yards, parents reminisced about their own childhood summers, and strangers became friends over shared meals. It was a time when the road itself was a destination, each mile offering a promise of discovery and delight. These journeys from the deserts to the coasts, from bustling cities to serene mountains, defined an era of American travel that remains etched in memory. The laughter of children, the hum of engines, the smell of fresh pie and salty sea air, the unexpected friendships and spontaneous detours all combined to create an experience uniquely. 1970s, it was a time when adventure was simple, joy was abundant, and every stop along the way was a story waiting to be told. Looking back, these experiences serve as more than nostalgia. They are reminders of a time when the open road promised freedom, discovery, and connection. From Route 66 to hidden beach coves, from mountain trails to coastal piers, every moment captured the essence of American summer, leaving travelers with memories that still evoke smiles, laughter, and the enduring magic of a journey well taken. As the sun climbs higher over the heartland, our journey takes us to the crossroads of America, where highways converge and travelers from all corners of the country meet. In Oklahoma, families paused at roadside parks, sharing homemade sandwiches and stories of adventures past. Children ran across open fields, their laughter echoing against the backdrop of distant grain silos and the hum of passing trucks. Nearby diners with their checkered floors and neon signs offered relief and refreshment. Pies, burgers and milkshakes, all served with a smile and a nod to the golden age of American hospitality. The Great Plains stretched endlessly, dotted with towns where local festivals brought communities together. Summer carnivals offered Ferris wheels, cotton candy, and carousel rides that sparked joy for children and adults alike. Music floated through the air, country, jazz, and rock and roll blending. With the scent of popcorn and the warm sun on everyone's face, farmers waved from their fields, inviting travelers to pause and appreciate the vast, open landscape that had shaped generations before. Further west, the Rocky Mountains rose majestically, their peaks dusted with snow. Even in the summer months, families hiked winding trails, spotting elk and eagles, while sharing picnic lunches on moss-covered rocks beside gurgling streams. Small mountain towns offered handcrafted souvenirs, local delicacies, and stories of pioneers and miners who had carved a life into the rugged terrain. Every turn in the road revealed a new vista, a new adventure, and a reminder that the American journey was as much about the landscapes as it was about the people. California's inland valleys provided a different kind of beauty. Vineyards stretched as far as the eye could see, and families stopped at farm stands to pick fresh fruit, taste homemade jams, and enjoy the slow rhythm of life away from bustling cities. In towns like Napa and Sonoma, horse-drawn carriages and local festivals brought history to life, offering travelers a glimpse into a simpler, more vibrant era. Children laughed as they chased butterflies through orchards, and parents captured photos to preserve the fleeting magic of the moment. On the Pacific coast, the sun cast golden light across beaches and piers. Surfers rode waves with effortless grace, while families strolled along boardwalks, sampling saltwater taffy and listening to the hum of arcade games and carousel music. Fishermen hauled in their daily catch, telling stories of storms, hidden coves, and the rhythm of the tides. Vendors sold handmade trinkets and fresh fruit, adding layers of sensory delight to the already rich tapestry of coastal summer life. As evening descended, the glow of neon signs illuminated highways, diners, and motels, inviting weary travelers to pause and reflect. Families gathered around picnic tables, sharing fried chicken, corn on the cob, and homemade lemonade. Children chased fireflies, while parents exchanged smiles and stories of their own childhood road trips. Each stop, each encounter, each sunset created a memory that would endure, stitched into the hearts of those who experienced it. From the deserts to the mountains, from bustling peels to quiet town squares, every mile of this journey contributed to the mosaic of 1970s America. The roads were alive with color, sound, and life. Engines hummed, laughter rang, and the promise of adventure was ever present. Travelers discovered not only new landscapes, but new friendships, unexpected detours, and moments of pure joy that defined a generation of summer explorations. Looking back, it is clear that the magic of these journeys lies not just in the destinations, but in the shared experiences along the way, the sights, sounds, and smells of the open road, the taste of ice cream on a hot afternoon, the shimmer of neon against the desert night, the laughter of children chasing waves. These are the treasures that keep the spirit of 1970s America alive in our hearts. Every mile, every stop, every story was part of a grand tapestry of discovery, nostalgia, and the timeless joy of the journey. As the journey winds to its final chapters, the heart of 1970s America reveals itself in its smallest details and grandest vistas. From the quiet corners of Midwestern towns to the roaring beaches of California, from sunlit deserts to misty mountain trails, every mile has been a story, a memory, a fleeting piece of a summer long gone yet eternally vivid. Children chase butterflies across meadows while parents linger on porches, sipping lemonade and sharing stories of their own childhood adventures along the very roads they now traverse. In small towns, neon signs flicker with welcoming light, diners hum with the clatter of dishes, and ice cream parlors overflow with giggling families savoring Sundays under the warm glow of late afternoon sun. Route 66 stretches endlessly, dotted with quirky motels, roadside attractions, and hand-painted signs inviting travelers to pause, take a photo, or simply breathe in the freedom of the open road. Every gas station, every water tower, every dusty street corner carries a memory. A laugh, a story waiting to be discovered and cherished. The deserts of the Southwest unfold in warm tones of ochre and gold, where the sun casts long shadows over cacti and scrublands. Families pause at quirky roadside art installations, spray cans in hand leaving marks on iconic sculptures. Nearby diners serve towering plates of comfort food, pies warm from the oven and milkshakes that drip down fingers while country tunes float lazily through the summer air. Travelers share tales of past adventures and unexpected detours, each encounter adding another stitch to the rich tapestry of road trip memories. Heading to the Rocky Mountains, the scenery shifts dramatically. Peaks dusted with snow even in summer rise majestically, and winding trails offer adventures at every turn. Families picnic beside clear streams, spotting elk and eagles as children's laughter echoes across valleys. Local craftspeople display hand-carved souvenirs, and towns host small festivals where music, food, and dance connect generations. Every bend in the trail reveals a new panorama, a secret waterfall, or a hidden meadow where memories are made and preserved in the hearts of travelers. Along the Pacific coast, sunlit beaches glimmer like gold. Surfers glide across waves with effortless grace, while families explore tide pools, collect seashells, and chase the frothy edges of the ocean. Piers buzz with music, laughter, and the scent of popcorn and cotton candy. Arcade machines jingling in harmony with carousel rides. Vendors sell handmade crafts, fresh fruit, and souvenirs that will become cherished reminders of the summer. Stories are shared, friendships formed, and each sunset paints the sky in shades of orange and purple, sealing the day into memory. The Appalachian Mountains offer a different kind of adventure, with misty trails, cascading waterfalls, and lush forests. Families hike together, learning about local flora and fauna while sharing sandwiches and homemade snacks. Children collect pine cones and wildflowers. Parents snap photographs to capture fleeting moments, and elders tell tales of generations past. Every cabin, every creek, every hidden nook becomes a stage for memories, a chapter in the ongoing story of exploration, joy, and connection. Along the Atlantic coast, historic towns like Williamsburg and Cape Cod reveal the charm of a bygone era. Horse-drawn carriages clatter over cobblestones, corner shops offer old-fashioned candies, and seafood shacks serve freshly caught lobster and clams. Children giggle as they run along piers, while parents watch with fond nostalgia, recalling summers of their own youth. The salty breeze carries the laughter of families and the music of street performers, binding everyone together in a shared experience of wonder and delight. As night falls across the country, neon lights flicker in small towns, motels glow warmly, and diners beckon with the promise of comfort and familiarity. Families gather around picnic tables, savoring fried chicken, corn on the cob, and homemade lemonade. Children chase fireflies under the soft glow of porch lights, while parents swap stories of past journeys. Strangers become friends, and every shared laugh, every fleeting smile, every quiet moment along the road adds another layer to the rich tapestry of 1970s summer adventures. Looking back, it becomes clear that the magic of these journeys was never in the destinations alone, but in the moments in between. The spontaneous stops at roadside attractions, the unexpected encounters with locals, the laughter shared over ice cream, the quiet contemplation beside a sunset-kissed river. These moments created bonds, sparked joy, and imprinted memories that would last a lifetime. The open roads of 1970s America were not just asphalt and signs. They were a canvas for exploration, connection, and pure delight. The 1970s American road trip was a symphony of sights, sounds and smells, the whirring of engines, the distant strum of a guitar, the scent of fresh pies and salt water, the laughter of children echoing through canyons, meadows and beachside boardwalks. Families and friends traveled together, strangers became companions, and each mile offered the promise of discovery and the thrill of adventure. Every turn in the road held a secret, every town a story, every sunset a memory to be treasured for decades. In reflecting on these journeys, we remember not only the landscapes but the feelings they inspired, the joy of discovery, the warmth of shared experiences, the unspoken connections formed along open highways, and the timeless magic of the summer sun on American roads. The spirit of these adventures endures, calling us to remember to dream and to cherish the endless possibilities that come with exploration, laughter, and the beauty of the road ahead. And so, as we close the book on this epic journey through 1970s America, let us carry with us the melodies of roadside diners, the laughter of children on sunlit beaches, the whispers of mountain winds, and the golden glow of sunsets over endless highways. Each story, each memory, each mile traveled is a testament to the enduring magic of adventure, the beauty of discovery, and the joy of experiencing life on the open road, a reminder that the heart of America is best found not just in places, but in the moments we share and the memories we hold forever.